Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, November 27th, and I am 62% into The Cradle of Ice. So I definitely intend on finishing that. And I also want to read The Assassin's Blade, which I have been saying for like 3 weeks, but this is a week where it's gonna happen. Like I'm saying it right now, it is gonna happen this week. I am gonna read that fucking book this week. And I also wanna read System Collapse, which is the sixth, seventh, eighth. I have absolutely no idea actually. Book in the Murderbot Diaries series, which is sci-fi and is one of my anticipated releases, and it was released, I think, last week. So I am excited to get to that, and I also want to read that book. And so the plans are finishing Cradle of Ice, reading The Assassin's Blade, and reading System Collapse. I mean, I would love to start something else, but that might be pushing it, especially because I didn't read almost at all last week because I was in Amsterdam. So I need to, get back to it. I mean, I want to read, but I need to get back to it. So yeah, those are the reading plans, and welcome to the vlog. Hello, it is Thursday. I just finished filming my November wrap up, and I have two books to tell you about. I mean, kind of three, even though like I'm at the beginning of one, but I finished The Cradle of Ice, and I don't think I have talked about it at all in this reading vlog. So basically, it is the second book in the Moonfall series, which is fantasy. And we are, like in the first book, we start following a young girl who foretells the end of the world, basically, and she's like given a death sentence because of that. And then we follow three guys. We have a prince, a thief, and a soldier. And the thief finds an artifact, a special artifact that has magic, and it is special in many ways. It's not just a normal, object. And they all come together to obviously try to prevent the end of the world. And in this second book, they are still trying to prevent the end of the world. And we learn a lot more about like the magic of the world and some prophecies and how some prophecies relate to the characters that we already knew and to the prophecies that we already knew. And it was a lot of fun. It had some pretty fun like fight scenes, a lot of like intense scenes, and also something that I love about this book, and I mean this series, because the first book had it as well, is that at the end of some parts it has drawings of some of the creatures that exist in that world, and I love when books have drawings. It's super fun. And yeah, I love that, and I love the book. I was definitely stressed in like the final like fight scene of this book towards the end, because everyone was in danger. Like I was stressing out. I was on the edge of my seat. And then the end of this book, absolutely insane. Like I spent this whole time thinking that this was duology, because if I go on Goodreads, it just shows me two books. So I thought this was a duology. But judging by the end of this book, it definitely isn't, because it was insane and I need to know like what happens next. I need the continuation to the series ASAP. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I gave it 4.5 stars. And then I read System Collapse, like I think I said I wanted to, and it was the seventh book in the series. And in the series, we follow like an exploratory team, and every exploratory team in this world has is assigned an android for security, and we follow one of those androids that calls itself Murderbot, and we basically follow Murderbot on several missions. And I mean, the missions are always fun, but the best thing about the series, I would say for me, but I feel like it's the best thing about the series for everyone, at least from like the comments I've seen about the series. Like the best thing is Murderbot's personality, because it's just so funny, but also so adorable, but also like so relatable, and I just love it so much. And I've loved to see like his relationship with humans evolve throughout the series. And in this one, like it starts right off the end of book 6, and so it's pretty much like the aftermath of their mission in book 6, but also they have to deal with some unexpected people. And also Murderbot is kind of malfunctioning, and we quickly learn why. And once again, like the mission was super fun, but Murderbot is like the best part of the series. And I love this book, and I gave it 4.5 stars. And the third book that I have like started, but I'm only 28% in, is The Assassin's Blade. And I have read 2 other short stories. Like this is the short story collection prequel. Is that the right order of words? I don't know. Of the Throne of Glass series. And so I have read the 2 first short stories, which were The Assassin and the Pirate Lord, and The Assassin and the Healer. And I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than the like full length novels that I've read. I've read the first 2 novels, and I'm liking this one more because I'm liking Selena more. Because my main complaint in the first 2 books, except the like last 60 pages of the second book where Selena was in fact iconic, like my biggest complaint is that they keep saying that she's the best assassin in all the lands. Like she's the most iconic assassin, the most fierce assassin, the most, I don't know, like the best assassin. But she's kind of useless, and she's not like as iconic as she is claimed to be. And in these 2 short stories, she has definitely been more iconic. Like I can see why like she had the reputation that she had. She's doing great. She's being amazing, and I'm having a lot of fun. So I am definitely excited to keep reading this. I think this has 5 short stories. I literally just opened it and I already forgot. Yeah, so I am like the one that I'm gonna read next is The Assassin and the Desert. Then we have The Assassin and the Underworld, and the final one is The Assassin and the Empire. So I'm definitely excited to read those, and I would like to finish it tomorrow. I'm not gonna say today because that is super unrealistic. That is never gonna happen. But honestly, maybe it won't happen tomorrow either, because tomorrow is like a holiday. So I'm sure my mom will have plans to get me out of the house. So I will not be reading that much. So I might not finish it tomorrow. But like ideally, I would love to. And then I would actually like to read Heir of Fire, because I'm planning to do the video for that next week. So, I would like to start that, obviously. And I would also like to read the Midnight Kingdom. Is that what it's called? Possibly. It is The Midnight Kingdom, which is the second book in the Dark Gods series, I think. And that is like one of my anticipated releases. I think it came out like a couple months ago and I still haven't gotten to it. And I want to, but it's 600 pages. So I am like, that is a lot of pages. Because like I will read a 1,000-page book, like physical book, no problem. But you give me a 600-page ebook and I'm like, that is so many pages. So yeah, so I've been kind of procrastinating that, just like I procrastinated The Cradle of Ice because my ebook was 720 pages. But then I ended up loving it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this one too, because I really like the first book. I really like all of the characters, and I mean, not all of the characters, but I really like most of the characters. And like the ending definitely got me excited for the second book. So I really want to do that, even though there might be a lot of fantasy, like The Assassin's Blade, Heir of Fire, and Midnight Kingdom. That is all fantasy. So honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna be reading like all of that back to back. Even though I love fantasy, it's sort of like my favorite genre of book, it's still a lot of fantasy. So we'll see. But those are like my loose reading plans for the rest of the week. And so yeah, I need to go edit my wrap up, and I will talk to you maybe Saturday, possibly. is a Saturday night and I just got home because I randomly went to Spain because I was talking to my friend on Thursday. I mean, I was gonna say Thursday night, but it was like 5 a.m. So technically it was like Friday dawn, but we hadn't gone to sleep yet. So it was Thursday night. And she was saying that like her sister wanted to go to Spain to see the like Christmas market and Christmas lights and things. And I was like, if I tell my mom, she will 100% want to go. So yesterday I told my mom, and she obviously wanted to go. So we just went there, and we just got back. It's like 11 something p.m. And if I look really tired, that is because I am really tired. But it was fun. It was like pretty, but there were so many people there. I mean, you just saw the clips that I filmed. It was overwhelming. And for like to get food at the market, like we could barely walk, and it was like so many people waiting for food, and it was a lot. And to actually find like a table, I mean, there were no tables to sit at, but there were tables where you would like have to stand, but at least you could, place your food down. And even to find one of those tables, it was really complicated. But anyway, it was still fun, and the food was actually really good. And I forgot to film it, so I am sorry, but we got like burgers and beer and waffles. And yeah, we just saw, Christmas lights and the Christmas tree and all the Christmas decorations. And I mean, me and my friend, like, we were together for like 15 minutes because I got there at like 4-ish. And I mean, we took like an hour to find a place to park. And then she got there, like, she got to the town at like 6 something, but it took her probably an hour and a half to find a place to park. So once she actually parked, like, me and my parents were like going to eat. So, we just were together like before me and my parents left, and she and her family, like, they stayed there. So we were together for a very small amount of time, but it was still great to see her. And yeah, it was fun. And getting to the books, I finished reading The Assassin's Blade, and I actually really enjoyed it. And not only did I enjoy like the plots and seeing Selena being actually like sort of an iconic assassin, I also enjoyed her more in general. Like, now I like her because it's not that I hated her, but I didn't really like her that much. And now I definitely like her more. And we also got to see, like, to learn a little more about the world, like other kingdoms in the world of that book. And that was definitely fun. And also got to meet some new characters that I really enjoyed to follow. And we got to learn about like the mysteries of Selena's past that are like sort of mentioned in the first two books, especially in the first book. And yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. We didn't really have like a lot of fantasy. It is set in a fantasy world, but there was not a lot of fantastical things happening. So I definitely would have liked to see more of the magical side of the book. But yeah, it was still really, really fun. It's definitely like my favorite of the 3 books I've read in the series. And I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars because it was a very fun time. And my favorite short story was The Assassin and the Desert, which I think was like the 3rd one. Like, I really, really, really like that one. Like, I think that one I would give 5 stars to. But the book as a whole, I am giving it 4 stars. And now, like I said, I had 2 books that I was planning on starting, and one of them is Airfire and the other is The Midnight Kingdom. And like, I probably should start Airfire because I need to have this read by Wednesday, but I'm tired, and honestly that sounds like a future me problem. So I don't really know if I'm gonna start anything tonight because, like I said, it is late and I am tired, and I don't think I have the brain capacity to read fantasy. So there's that. But if I don't start either of the books tonight, I will definitely start at least one of them tomorrow. And yeah, I think that is everything that I had to update. And next time I talk to you will probably be to wrap up the vlog. So it is Monday, and I'm here to obviously wrap up this vlog. And I actually started, as you must have seen, the two books that I wanted to start. And starting off with The Midnight Kingdom, I only got to 20%. I'm really enjoying like what I've read, but I haven't really read that much. But I don't think I've talked about like what the story is, but this is the second book in the Dark Gods trilogy, and it's a fantasy trilogy. And basically in this world there are four gods, and so there are four realms, and they are the gods of life, death, light, and darkness. And basically each god, like, there is a family that, like, a mortal family that has the power of each god, and there is like an heir for each god. And in that kingdom, like, they all kind of, like, all the realms kind of converge in a city that is like the City of Dusk, and the first book is called the City of Dusk. And like, there is a king that doesn't have the power of any of the gods, like, he's not an heir to any god, but he's the king of that place. And he, like, the king doesn't have an heir himself, so he will choose one of the heirs of like the four families. And so they are, all the families, like, obviously want to have their own heir, like, be the next king or next queen. And at the same time, the gods have, like, kind of closed themselves off from that city. So, like, the city is kind of dying. And so the four heirs are, at the same time as they're trying to be the heir of the king, they're also trying to save their city. And at the end of the first book, there is, like, obviously, a reveal, a plot twist, and then the very end was also insane. And there was also like an epic fight scene, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. So I was obviously very excited to get into this. And again, I've only read 12%, but I am really enjoying it. All of the characters, like the main four heirs, are like in different places, like doing different things, and I'm like invested in all of them. I'm having a really good time so far, but I haven't read much, so there's not really much that I can say. And then I got to page 144 of Heir of Fire, which is kind of like a fourth around that, and I'm actually really enjoying it. This is the third book in the Throne of Glass series, and I just finished the like prequel short story collection thing this week, as I said before, and I really, really liked that. It was the first book that I like really liked. The others were okay. The end of the second book was amazing, and so I was obviously very excited to get into this because I love the end of the second book and I really like the prequel. And I'm really liking this as well. We are like in a different setting than we were in the first two books. I mean, some characters are still in the same setting, but like the main character is in a different setting. And we also have met, we have met like many new characters, but like one specifically, like, she's a witch and she's like iconic. She's very mean, she's very savage, but she is, or at least she seems to be for now. I don't know like how she's gonna interact with the characters that we already knew, but like so far she hasn't. And on her own, in what she's doing, she seems to be very iconic, and I'm very excited to learn more about her because she seems very interesting. And I'm also enjoying what the main character is doing. And I'm also, the other characters that we met before, I'm not like obsessed with what their plotline is so far, but I'm also not disliking it. And I'm actually liking one character that I didn't really like before. So that's good, I guess. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm very happy about that. And so that is everything that I have read this week. And to wrap it up, I finished The Cradle of Ice, I read The Assassin's Blade, I read System Collapse, I read the beginning of Midnight Kingdom, and I read the beginning of Heir of Fire, and that gives me a total of 1,155 pages, which I am very happy with. And so yeah, that is everything for this weekly reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!